I'm sorry, but I find it completely unnatural.
I don't get why you think cremation's so bad. Everyone outside Navarra burns their dead.
All those lost vessels, fine mansions reduced to ash. Manfred, for instance, how would his wisp have fared if I hadn't given it a body?
Where or who'd you get his body from?
There was no single donor. The arms were recovered from a charnel pit. The ribs were a gift from a dear friend. And Manfred's wisp picked out his own skull from some donations. That was quite the day. He's been fine company during my necropolis excursions ever since.
What does Manfred understand exactly?
Simple things, but he grows. Spirits of curiosity are voracious learners. The more he experiences, the more sophisticated his conclusions. With guidance, of course.
If I say, good to meet you, will he get that?
Manfred's alert to the sentiment, certainly. I encountered him as a wisp in the necropolis years ago. A simple spirit, but so curious. He refused to leave my side.
So, you built a skeleton for the spirit to live in?
Spirits are formed from the emotions and desires of people in the mortal realm. Manfred's wisp came from curiosity. It's these spirits which animate the dead. Their drive revives the corpse, yet the corpse colors their actions. Thus, the eternal question, are undead, inhuman spirits puppeting a body, or does some shade of the departed return?
I can't answer that. Can you?
I've come to believe there is a return. I swear I could see it sometimes, Rook. A glint of recognition of something more in the dead.
Hey, that's my sleeve. Are you trying to steal my buttons?
As well as a certain mischievousness. Manfred. Rook, interested in visiting the Memorial Gardens?
What are you up to?
I must tend to some rites in the necropolis. I'd like to show you its more peaceful side. Thank you again for coming. My duties include tending to these rites of remembrance. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
No one's going to seize the day for you.
Just so. That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Tja. Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
Seems disrespectful to abandon something you built.
Precisely. No wonder there's been an uptick in hauntings. Let's continue.
Hi.
It's curious about you. We're also enjoying the gardens, but with one last ritual ahead. On your way, my friend.
Spirits really are your specialty.
I've always had a rapport with them. Even as a child, they were my companions.
After you started training here?
After I was orphaned.
Oh.
A collapsed building, swift deaths. After the funeral, the Watchers took me in.
Belated condolences, if that's worth anything.
Always. We move on, as we must, but those long nights linger about the shadows.
How did you deal with it?
I didn't. When I first arrived here, I was terrified.
And you still joined the Watchers?
They're what saved me.
So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
It wasn't the necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
I try not to think much about the big end.
It wasn't a choice for me when I was younger. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying. It goes beyond dread. Can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, on sunlit streets, a raw, strangling fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered. Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a Watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of host would I be if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
That sounds great. Thanks.
Would you mind letting Manfred pour? He does so love seeing the steam rise from the cups. With all my regards. Oh, but I don't want them to think me homesick.
Hi, Emmerich.
Rook, hello. Just composing a few letters. The other Watchers have been most interested in our adventures.
I couldn't help overhearing the word homesick.
Oh, I'm fine. Completely absorbed in our venture. But if I were home, I'd be preparing for new students or requests to speak to the dead.
You didn't stop teaching just to be with us, did you?
I'm long overdue for a sabbatical. Besides, do you know how many students the faculty wanted in my class next season? 10! How's one meant to tailor separate lessons for 10 pupils at a time? Honestly.
So, I've heard people call necromancers Mortalitasi. What's the difference between them and the Mornwatch?
Oh, all Navaran necromancers are Mortalitasi. The Watchers are a special order within them.
Very fancy.
We've certain privileges and attendant responsibilities. Our first duty is safekeeping the Grand Necropolis and preparing the funerary dead. Another is stopping misuse of dark magic and necromancy.
Must keep you busy.
Not often, but on occasion.
Can people just ask you to show up for some corpse whispering?
Oh, nothing official. There are very few of us, but we help here and there. Questioning a victim of murder, clearing up disputed wills, and sometimes fetching back last words from a loved one.
You can get anything out of the dead and they just let you leave Navarra.
My gift has limitations. The dead only know what they did in life. What was clear under the sun is sometimes blurred when I revive them.
Makes sense.
Honestly, some conversations aren't worth the trouble. Death encourages obstinacy.
What's the Grand Necropolis like?
Its majesty has stilled the tongues of kings and queens. It's a haven for spirits and the dead, a vast well of history, the duty and shelter of every watcher. We who serve it are pledged to an eternal vigil. Ah, there are stranger and more dangerous things than spirits in the Fade Rook. The Watchers stand against them when their shadows rise.
Anything lately?
A few portents I cannot put down solely to the chaos of the elven gods, but nothing definitive. Perhaps only shivers in the void.
Good to chat. I'll let you get back to your letter.
Before you go, I wanted to thank you for your company in the Memorial Gardens. There's another ceremony I have to perform there. If you'd like to visit again. Not yet, but soon.
Sounds good. Sometimes I miss home too.
Rook, I'm not... well, perhaps a little.
You'll cheer up once we look at some graves, I bet.
The ceremony should be most centering. I'll let you know when it's time. I can't believe you're asking for a favor as though nothing's happened.
What crapped in your bed?
Sorry, didn't know you two were in the
Rook,
middle of...
excellent. Come in. We could use a second sober voice.
I'm not drunk. You're drunk.
It's a figure of speech.
Tosh?
I didn't do anything.
Oh, come now.
I need one of these little needle things to dig some crap out of my armor. Death Mage won't give me one.
First, a bone threader is an extremely delicate instrument. Second, it's Emric. Tash, my name is Emric, not Death Mage, not Corpse Guy, not... I won't repeat the rest.
What? You are a Death Mage.
Why are all my attempts to converse with you met with scorn? What have I done to you, Tash?
You talk about corpses too much.
It's a rich topic.
No, corpses are messed up. They used to have people in them. You make a move like they're alive, but they smell wrong and they move wrong, and none of it is okay.
Oh.
Especially the ones with skin still on them.
Look, you two may never be best friends,
Nope.
but maybe we can aim for getting along?
I'd no idea necromancy upset you so deeply, Tash. Quite honestly, I didn't think you feared anything.
I don't. But I could have said it was bugging me. I didn't think you cared what I thought.
Of course I do. We're colleagues on this journey.
Okay. Sorry I called you a liker. Skull liker.
Maybe you two can find different things to talk about around each other.
I'll try not to press on the subject of necromancy when we travel together, Tash.
Okay. Thanks. It's fine if I ask about it first.
In that vein, could we avoid any dragon trivia?
What? Who doesn't like dragons?
There's lots of other stuff to talk about. Tosh knows Ravane and the Cune. Emric knows Navara and plants.
Plants. Plants are okay.
I have always been curious about the Lords of Fortune.
See? It's a start. Hi, Emric. You've got a guest.
Ah, Rook. You remember the Hand of Glory?
Hard to forget. You figure out what those Venatori who broke into the necropolis were doing with it.
The hand is how they broke in. The simpler undead are blind to its bearer when its tapers are lit. Sadly, only a death mage could have provided them with this forbidden necromancy.
If they're helping the Venatori, that has to stop.
Agreed. I've made some inquiries. This man is one of the death mage's victims. If he knows where this rogue necromancer is hiding, my corpse whispering will give us the answer.
Floor's all yours.
It shouldn't take long. I must warn you, it will be harder to coax answers from this poor man than from the dead I spoke to in the necropolis. Let flame rekindle your sight. Let breath and light rise again. Who did this to you?
Eyes hidden, dust and gold.
Give us a name.
They come for this one. The spirits shriek. They come.
A name?
Blackthorn.
Return to your rest.
That name sounds like a lead.
Blackthorn Manor is an abandoned country house outside Navarra City. Our victim mentioned spirits. If they've also fallen prey to forbidden magic, they'll need our help as well. Let's depart for Blackthorn when you're ready. I'd like to speak to the necromancer behind all this.
So, Blackthorn Manor. Let's hope that necromancer working with the Venatori is around.
There's a malaise amongst the spirits here. Some form of confinement. This must be the place.
Right. So, why'd we bring that?
Oh, it's essential we have the Hand of Glory.
I'm just grateful you know what to do with it.
It's a fascinating piece. The magic laid upon a Hand of Glory is complex. Whoever killed its donor left their mark.
So it'll lead us to whoever cut it off.
Precisely. Most likely the necromancer who's been helping the Venatori. It would have taken extraordinary skill to layer the involutions on this artifact. What a waste of talent.
Bet whoever owned that hand agrees with you.
We'll put an end to whatever's happening in this manor. That, I promise. Forbidden necromancy can twist spirits. We must find this death mage and stop whatever they've done to them.
Well, if there's a rogue necromancer here, they forgot to lock the door.
The Hand of Glory's magic points inward to the northeast.
Let's go look.
Something really eerie about this place.
No! What have they done?
This looks bad.
Sacrifices, both spirit and human.
And demons. Now what?
I must free the spirit bound here.
Emmerich!
Someone's been harvesting their terror. Their souls! How dare they? What are they Come! I can sense another spirit trapped here in the mansion. Another victim.
More demons.
Masterfully done, Rose!
Can you free this one, Emmerich?
I must.
Professor?
Someone's been stealing the life, the essence of people who knew they were facing death. The effects persist, but the door we saw earlier should be unsealed.
Hope that necromancer we're after is behind it.
Professor.
It can't be.
But what else would one expect from Navarra's most eminent meddler?
Johanna Hezenkos.
You've met?
Oh, the Professor and I have known each other for ages. But only one of us realized the Watchers are no place for a mage with ambition.
Big talk.
Rook's correct. There'll be no more victims.
Trying to impress your new friend, are we?
No. The stolen knife in that lantern could permanently tear open the Fade here.
Correct. Only the foolhardy would shed blood near it in this state. So, let the Watchers mourn your pathetic death in the Fade, Emmerich Volkaren. Those that are left after my return.
No. What is she planning?
Emmerich, we okay to fight?
Yes. Johanna took the lantern away with her.
What did Hezenkos do to that spirit?
I'll try freeing it, but I fear the worst. Nothing. The spirit, its essence, is gone. Johanna's trapped it in her lantern.
Then let's find her.
You insufferable nuisances! How did you get out so quickly?
Where's Hezenkos' voice coming from?
The Hand of Glory resonates. It's pointing to the main hall.
Let's go.
I can feel Johanna summoning hostile spirits. That portal into the Fade won't close until we defeat them.
But we still can't attack Hezenkos herself while she's holding that lantern.
The entire countryside would be torn apart in a maelstrom.
So you crawled your way out of the Fade.
It's not difficult for those who treat spirits better than tools to an end, Johanna.
Sentimental drivel.
We doing this or not?
A death wish. You and Volkaren must be quite the pair. Though the Professor clearly avoided mentioning his old colleague in exile.
We made every attempt to bring you to reason.
I gave you every chance to join me instead of whining endlessly about your mortality. You may have stopped my work here, but Navarra City will know its new ruler. But I must thank you for returning something dear to me. Lovely to have my hand back. I'd exchanged it with the Venatori for some favors after entering this condition.
Johanna, what have you done?
What you never had the courage to.
For the record, I do not have a death wish.
Johanna's escaped again.
Why she has no eyes?
Afterwards, we'll...
It's over. Emmerich, still sense anything wrong?
We were successful. Johanna's magic no longer changed the spirits, and the Fade is still.
Great. Okay. But let's talk back at the lighthouse.
At least we freed those spirits from their suffering. Oh, the Song of the Chambers won't have anything on what Johanna's... Perhaps the Waking Scrolls? No. Manfred, have you seen the Fellmarch manuscripts?
You and Manfred need an extra pair of eyes for... whatever this is?
I suppose it's time I explained this mess. Johanna Hesenkos was a watcher. She was banished for embracing the darker paths of our art. Forbidden magic, blood sacrifice, nothing is beyond her if it leads to power, recognition, or both.
Sounded like you knew her before all that.
We were friends, once.
I guess it was a shock to see her back there then.
An unexpected reunion. It wasn't always like this. She truly was brilliant, and we got on so well as students. We partnered on papers, rituals, research. Yet even then, Johanna considered the Watcher's oaths quaint. This isn't the first time we've crossed paths since she was exiled, but now I fear she's turned herself partly undead.
She made herself half undead? On purpose?
There are advantages to undeath you may not be familiar with.
I'm good.
You saw Johanna's Lantern of Unwilling Souls. A necromancer could create monstrous undead with that much stolen life.
Hesenkos was yelling a lot about conquering Navarra City.
We must stop her, Rook. Thank you, Manfred. Quite right. The Order's knowledge will see us through.
Hesenkos had been stopped. For now. But she had big plans for Navarra. City conquering, new ruler plans. And while she had some regrets about long-lost friendships, she knew her greatest invention was going to bring down the house.
Ah, hello there. Just admiring how carefully the Fade is woven into this place, as cultivated as a palace garden.
That's old elven stuff for you. Magic everywhere you look, and also where you don't.
I do envy you, Rook.
Really?
A young rebel striking from the shadows against Tevinter's empire? Not to mention traveling with Varric. The adventures you've already had.
I guess I have had some pretty great times.
Oh, I'd love to hear about more of them.
Really?
Work was always my excuse not to travel. But now that I've joined you, I'm finally exploring outside Navarra's crypts. Ah, speaking of the necropolis.
Yes?
I've been meaning to ask how you'd like your body prepared in the event of your death.
Just cremate me.
I feared that might be your answer.
Why? Need the spare parts?
I'm always here to discuss proper burial options. Ah, he's finished the reagent. Please excuse us. Excellent work, Manfred. Do you remember, Rook, when I mentioned another ceremony I must perform at the Memorial Gardens? The time has come. I was hoping you'd accompany me again.
More grave lighting?
No, this would be a more personal visit, whenever you've time. Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
That must have been frustrating.
He knows he's not supposed to play in the horticulture. Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
Ah, there's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Lich. That's Old Tavine for corpse, isn't it?
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
Not everyone gets to meet their idols.
Oh, but I was nervous. The Liches are the great protectors of the necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
If that's what you want.
I'd anticipated more surprise.
Emmerich, you live in a haunted necropolis.
Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to?
No, mercifully, that falls to another Watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! A promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
That's reasonable. Lots of people are afraid of dying.
Is it? When it keeps me from what I most desire? Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos? She's a lich.
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So, what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
No wonder Hezenkos was shouting so much.
No, she's always been that way.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness, or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's books.
Every mage's dream.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleonora Volkarin. They walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim, early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom.
What would they have wanted me to be?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.
Mana, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far
We have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
I never studied necromancy in Tevinter, but isn't that stupidly dangerous?
Johanna is, unfortunately, skilled enough to make an attempt, but we've found her.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom. Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
You could also be having a normal reaction to facing danger every other day.
No, it shouldn't be this crushing, this prevalent. No. Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
Little fear's healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise. Okay, so the plan is basically to sneak around, find Hezenkos's lantern, and smash it. That's quite a crowd over in the manor.
Johanna's gathering. If she's mingling there, we'll be spotted. Fortunately, we have someone who could pass as a servant.
You don't think he'll stand out?
There'll be other undead servants. I'd be surprised if Johanna recognized him. You know, she never truly appreciated Manfred's cleverness. Right, Manfred. You're to find Johanna's guests and help us gather information on where her workshop might be. We'll be watching in case anything occurs.
Something's going to occur.
Once we find and destroy Johanna's lantern, we'll end whatever she's planning. Hopefully before she introduces the lantern to her guests. There's Manfred. And Johanna.
But no lantern.
Now, you were saying about a shrine in the manor.
Yes, a shrine revealed by a spectral tome, which, as an expert, I could read if our host ever lets me into the library.
An ancestral shrine? I could question the deceased there about the location of Johanna's lantern. Oh my! A body from the house of the Verheims prepared during the Storm Age.
We can come back for it after.
Excellent idea.
Time to find Hezenkos. He's all yours, Emmerich.
By flame and seal, by light and flood, open your eyes once more.
Who dares disturb?
Friends to the dead.
Friends, this one was abandoned, lost.
Emmerich, it's getting noisy.
He's unusually obstinate. Speak! Where is Hezenkos?
Prove yourselves. What claim have you to the deceased? A willing dead companion. This one concedes. Hezenkos makes a thing that should not be. Red tapestry. Look there.
Rook, did you hear that? Manfred just...
I know. Also, we should move.
This must lead to Johanna's workshop.
What's that through the wall?
Oh my word!
Yeah.
I thought you and your little friends might work your way into my party for Karen.
Johanna, even half-lich, you can't control something this massive.
Such little faith!
That glow on the skeleton up there. That's Hezenkos's lantern.
She's going to use the life stored in it to reanimate that monstrosity. Quickly, we must reach the lantern.
There's the lantern. You're gonna free the spirits inside.
We must, before we can destroy it.
Like back when you were freeing those spirits Hezenkos trapped in the manor. That took a lot out of you.
I must try, Rook.
Emmerich!
There are too many trapped spirits! I'm sorry. I can't. Another lash of power might end me.
What's that, Volkaren? Afraid to chance death for your precious spirits? For all your fine words on the subject, only I had the courage to risk my life for our art.
I've seen Emmerich face worse than you.
I'm not the one so paralyzed by fear I couldn't seize immortality.
Johanna! Listen to me! You're right. I've never overcome fear of that final dark. I miss having a friend that could.
Yes. Always the idealist.
I'm sorry Lichdom failed you. I swear I would have helped you had you come to me. But puppeting this creature...
Puppet? Puppet? Do you think I'm staying a failed lich? I won't command my greatest creation! I will become it! Colleagues, interfering Templars, inept rivals, you all have a place in my heart. And tonight you will fuel my ascension at the cost of your miserable lives.
Move! You can't free the spirits in that lantern.
It might kill me and not even work. No living thing can approach it and... Manfred! Come back!
Any last words, Volkaren, before I... You miserable little...
Manfred!
Manfred knew you could do this. So do I.
By the spirits bound here, night and shadow, light and blood.
What are you doing?
Let your chains loosen. Let the fade draw close.
You'll never succeed, you old fool!
I release you to the air.
No! You small-minded...
Emmerich, how's Manfred holding together?
We must go to the necropolis. His body could only take so much. But I underestimated him, Rook. What bravery in the heart of the dead. And how he grew. Manfred disobeyed me beautifully. He was his own soul at the end.
Can you bring him back?
I will ask.
Emric Volkaren. You were not expected so soon.
If I can do anything to help.
Thank you. But this must come from me. My lord, I come regarding Manfred, my fallen companion.
Yes, there are ways to return his spirit. But should you do this, Lichdom falls from your grasp.
What? Why?
Lichdom is long. If I'm to stand outside death, I must make peace with others passing through it.
What would we otherwise become? How many exceptions till tyranny? Revive him and remain mortal. Or let him slumber and join us.
Emric.
Manfred chose to help us. Am I too weak to accept his well-earned rest? I yearn for Lichdom Rook, that leap into something greater, that everlasting light. Do I revive him and live out my days? Or do I honor death by letting him rest and protect this world through immortality?
Mortality's a hard price, but you'd miss Manfred.
Oh, of course I would. But a Watcher should be more accepting of loss, of grief, of his own death in turn.
You're braver than you know, Emric. You've always risked your life, against Hezenkos, against the gods.
Death's abyss always recedes with someone to brave it for.
I think facing a lot of things would be easier if Manfred was back.
Oh, he was fearless. He has so much potential, Rook. So far to grow.
Then help him do it.
You're absolutely right. I'll need your help. Rest easy, Manfred. We'll soon have you back amongst the living.
Okay, Emric. How's this work?
We'll need assistance finding Manfred's wisp and drawing it back into his body. By pact and pledge, I seek an audience. By light and breath, let wisdom come.
You two?
Allow me to give you their full and proper names, the keepsake of ages and far-sighted curio.
Thank you both very much for helping with Manfred.
How polite. How fine.
Good manners in mortal kind, beyond the spirit callers at last.
Friends, my assistant, my ward, Manfred, sacrificed himself to save us.
We'd heard you'd abandoned Lichdom to bring him back. Your work, your dreams.
You paid the price. But it seems there are many flickers of curiosity in the Fade.
And only one you seek. Draw his wisp near. Speak.
Can I help?
Yes, please. Think of Manfred. Tell me something you felt about him. Concentrate.
He was always excited to be around you, Emric. If spirits can learn to love, he loved you.
In the sea of the Fade, there are wakes left by our passing. Our desires, our fears. I leave this beacon for you, Manfred. Follow my voice. Return to me!
Please.
Manfred?
It worked.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful indeed.
Thanks for stitching that seam on my coat, Fred. It was coming loose. And nice new threads yourself.
Thank you. Yes, we needed something to mark him as an apprentice around the necropolis.
It's a good fit. See you around.
Yes!
How are you doing, Manfred?
Alive! He's excited for his training. Manfred's spellcraft is coming along nicely, more or less. Some undead have the potential to cast magic. I believe his was unlocked by his journey through the Fade.
What was that like?
Dunno. You mean you don't know? Dunno. We must work on that enunciation. Why don't you fetch the primer?
I'm glad things worked out.
I'm glad you talked me into it. As he grows, Manfred will better learn to take care of himself. I won't worry so much when I pass on.
How do you feel about that last part?
I have moments of regret for what Lichdom might have been. But none would make me exchange this for anything. Back! He's courageous, and I do enjoy his stories. I didn't expect it, but Strife and I are getting along quite well. But where to go with him?
Nev always wants to visit this fish fry stand in Minrathus.
Ah, youth would make even that a romantic evening.
It was. I hope. Sorry, Emric. Rook might be better at this.
Rook, quickly, Strife will be here soon. Does wandering Arlathan's groves or exploring its caves filled with lightning insects seem more romantic?
How long have you and Strife been seeing each other?
Not for long. He inquired about my corpse whispering, then presented me with the most exquisite jeweled skull. One thing led to another.
That's some present.
Wasn't it?
If you and Strife are just out for fun, I'm sure any place is good.
Strife's is a life of danger, constantly exploring, sometimes hunted, often alone. Whether or not he knows it, a man like that needs romance.
And you're going to give it to him?
Oh, eventually.
If you want romantic, you can't beat a beautiful forest.
Very true. Perhaps serenity would be just the thing.
All set. Where are we heading, Emric?
After some consideration, let's jaunt over to the groves.
A jaunt in Arlathan. Not exactly what veil jumpers would call it. Though there are some flowers you might like.
Ah, I'll find some sample vials. Until later.
That's what I like about your friend, Rook. For a city mage, he's not afraid to play in the mud.
Hey, I'm a city mage.
We can't all be perfect.